Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tier Above the Rest. Today, we're going to be doing Arsenal for the 2024-2025 season, ranking them from S to D. As usual, subscribe, like the video, and let me know in the comments what you want me to react to next. Starting off, we got Calafiori. I'm going to give him a C. He came in for big money after the Euros, and it seems like injuries are taking, the worst of his career. And there's another player that we're going to talk about later on that already took over his role. So for him, he gets a C. Gabriel gets an S. I think we can argue that him and Saliba have been the best center backs on Arsenal. Well, that's clear, but maybe in the Premier League behind Van Dijk. People are saying Gabriel might be even better than Saliba this season at least. And with his heading and goals, he's also adding to the team. For that reason, he gets an S. Kai Havertz gets a B. I think Kai Havertz is one of those players where he doesn't have a position. They tried him as a striker. He's not. That's not his best position. He's not really a winger. He's not really a midfielder. So for him, it's very hard to fit in this team, especially with Arteta. How the way he's coaching, he has significant like roles for each players. So for him, he doesn't really fit, and I don't think he's gonna be in this club any longer. So Havertz gets a B. Jesus gets he gets a B as well. Actually, no, he gets a C. We haven't seen him out there that much. He had a good start to the season, but he's pretty much out the team. They're looking for a number nine, and Gabriel Jesus is not the one. He's got to go. I think his career is almost over now, so maybe he's gonna go to a different team with his final team. Maybe get some money from the MLS or the Saudi League, but his time is pretty much up. Jorginho, I don't even know if he played on this team still, so we're gonna give him a D. Someone let me know if he still plays. I don't even know if he's on this team anymore. I think he's in Brazil or something actually. He might be gone, so he gets a D for now. I don't know who this is, so you get a D. Martinelli, you get a C. You're probably one of the worst wingers in the Prem, and you might not be Brazilian after all. You had a lot of potential early on in your career, but this season was horrible. You're not really a left winger that this team needs. You're probably going to be gone in a few years if they can bring someone else in, if there's a notable left winger in the market. Horrible season from you. You get a C, and I don't think anyone even bats an eye at that decision. Marino gets an A. Brought in as a midfielder from Real Sociedad, but he played as a number nine, and he scored a good amount of goals. I think he scored 12 goals this season, something around that. And for a midfielder moving into a position he hasn't really played, I think that's really good, especially coming all the way from Spain and just fitting into Arteta's plans. It's really nice to see that he performed well, and that even makes it more of a clear decision that they need a number nine in this team. So Arteta, good decision on bringing Marino in, he gets an A for that. Tierney, I don't even think he plays. We're gonna give him a D. Uh, is this Neto? You get a D. You're a backup keeper. You're not sniffing the field even once. You always been a backup keeper. You should have went to a different club, but it makes sense. You're doing your part. Odegaard, yeah, you get an A from me. I think you had a good season overall, but there were times in the season where you just weren't the best. You're known as one of the best tens in the world and a captain of this team, but sometimes we don't see that. We need you to carry the team when the team is down. We need you to make those runs. We need you to score the big goals, get the big assists. But we haven't seen that in big moments. Sometimes people are calling you a fraud out there. I don't think you're a fraud. I think maybe you ran out of gas towards the end of the season. But for this season alone, I give you an A. You had a strong season, but we expect more out of you. So keep pushing. Party, gonna give you a C. I think his time's up. He's a good defensive midfielder, but he's just old. He's been here for a long time. He's probably gonna leave the club. Well, I think he is leaving the club at the end of the season. So for that reason, he gets a C. It could have been a better season. Maybe we could have gotten a couple of years out of him, but clearly he wasn't good enough. Raya, in my opinion, it's an S. Without Raya, you don't have that shot stopping ability at the back. You don't have the stability of building up from the back as well. He's a really good passer. He's very vocal. He's everything you need in a goalkeeper. He does make mistakes very rarely compared to other goalkeepers, which is really good to see. And overall, he just is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So for that reason, he gets an S. Declan Rice, worth every penny, every $1 million, 100 million spent on his transfer. He's worth every million of that. We've seen his two free kicks, perfect. top corners. Like, who's doing that, you know? Declan Rice is proving his worth as a number 8. He could fit in as a 10, he could fit as a 6, 8. He's a complete midfielder. Arsenal are very lucky to have him, and he's going to be there for the next at least 5 years, and he's going to dominate that center mid role. So for that reason, he gets an S by no questions. Saka gets an S as well. You can see what he does on the right wing. Without him, you don't have the creativity. You don't have the 1v1 taking on players. He opens up a lot for the team on the right side. And someone like him who's still young, who's still finding his feet, who can still add more goals and assists to his totals every season, he's only going to get better with time. So Saka is a S for Saka, you know, it is what it is. He's going to get better hopefully next season as well, and maybe they can even push for a Premier League. William Saliba, you get an S as well. You can see that there's a strong difference between the high-rated players and the low-rated players, because it looks like the starting 11 for this team was very strong. So Saliba, one of the best center backs in the world. I think Arsenal would still prefer him over Gabriel, even though Gabriel had the better season. But Saliba wasn't far behind. He gets an S. Very good season from him. Young French center back. He's just starting his prime of his career, if we're being really honest. So for him, he gets an S for this last season. Raheem Sterling, you get a D. Nothing much to be said there, Raheem Sterling. You weren't good. You weren't good. I think you and Gabriel just gotta go. Not Gabriel Jesus. Him and Sterling gotta go. Timber gets an A. I think we figured out that, okay, that's the right back for the future, for the now. He's perfect as that hybrid right back that can kind of tuck into for a 3-back when needed, but he can also push up the field. He's very good physically, very good defensively. He can also add a little bit to the offensive side of his game. And overall, we've seen what he did in big games, right? He was stopping the best left wingers in the world on the right side. So for him, he gets an A for this season, and he's going to have a good, successful future there. Tomiyasu. You know what? I see that Louis Skelly isn't on the list. So we're going to pretend Tomiyasu is Louis Skelly. I'm going to give him a B. He came into the team, took over Calafiori's role. I mean, after that, it was his left back role. Yeah, whatever you want to call it, left back, inverted left back, CDM. Louis Skelly did that really well. But honestly, if I'm being honest, he's a midfielder. He's not a left back, but he works in Arteta's system. So Louis Skelly, in my opinion, gets a B for this season. I think he just fit the role and did well. We don't know how good he is. You know, let's see the next season how he does. But for this season, you know, just because he came also very late into the season, halfway through when people started noticing, we'll give him a B for that. Trossard gets an A. Took over Martinelli's left wing role, and he's just a great attacker. He knows when to get into space. He's good passing, good crossing, good shooting. He's a good left winger. Not the world's best left winger, but he's a good left winger, especially for the Prem. So he gets an A. Ben White, you barely play, but you do well when you play. So I'll give you a B. It sucks that you lost your role to Timber, but I prefer Timber. But he can play that center back, right back type of role, so we'll give him a B for that. And Zinchenko, I think you get a C, because I'm not gonna lie, you're probably like the third choice left back now. And I don't even know about Tomiyasu, but pretend it's Louis Skelly. He's ahead, Calafiori's ahead, and then it's you. So for that reason, you get a C. You're not gonna be playing much anyways going forward. And that is going to do it for my Arsenal tier list. Let me know down in the comments what teams you want me to react to next. Whether you guys also want me to do different football related tier lists, whether it be young players or the table for the Premier League season, whatever it may be. So let me know down in the comments. Drop a like, hit a subscribe, and I'll see you next time. See you.